Hello and welcome to Learn English the Easy Way. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Eric.
Hey, Sarah. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here.
Today we have a really lovely topic. We're going to talk about gardening, specifically tending a flower garden. I feel like it's the perfect time of year to get outside and, get your hands a little dirty.
I completely agree. It's such a relaxing hobby, and I think it's something anyone can do, no matter where they live.
Exactly, which is interesting because you and I have very different gardening setups, don't we?
We do, very different. You have a big backyard at your house, right?
I do. I have a lot of space to work with. But you live in an apartment, so you do all of your gardening on your balcony.
That's right. It's all container gardening for me. Lots of pots. But you'd be surprised how much you can grow in a small space.
I'd love to hear about it. So, how did you get started with your balcony garden? Was it difficult to begin?
Not really. I started super small. I think my first plants were some herbs like basil and mint. They're pretty easy to take care of. And it was just so nice to have fresh herbs for cooking.
Oh, that's a great idea. A very practical way to start.
Yeah, and after I got some confidence with those, I decided to try flowers. I just wanted more color, something bright and cheerful to look at. So I bought a few pots, some soil, and some simple flowers.
And what about you, Sarah? Having a big yard must be amazing, but was it overwhelming at first? Like, where do you even start? Oh, it was. When we first moved in, it was just grass, a big empty space. I felt a lot of pressure to make it beautiful, so I did the same as you, really. I started small. I made one little flower bed in a corner of the yard.
That's smart. One area at a time.
Right, it made it feel more manageable, and each year I'd add a little more. Now I have a few different garden areas. It's a lot of work, but I love it.
So, let's talk about the fun part, choosing the plants. What kind of flowers do you like to grow in your big garden?
Ooh, good question. I love perennials. For our listeners, perennials are plants that, they come back every year. You plant them once and they grow again the next spring.
Right, they're a great investment. The opposite of those are annuals, which only live for one season. You have to plant them new every year.
Exactly. So I have some perennials like roses and lavender, but I also plant annuals every year for a big splash of color. This year, I planted a lot of sunflowers. They make me so happy.
I can imagine. Sunflowers are amazing. For my balcony, I have to be more careful. I mostly use annuals because they do really well in pots. And I need things that don't get, huge.
That makes sense. You don't want a giant sunflower taking over your whole balcony.
No, definitely not. So I plant things like geraniums and petunias. They have beautiful, bright flowers, and they stay a nice, manageable size. Another big thing for me is sun. I have to see how much sun my balcony gets and then choose plants that will be happy there.
That's a really important tip for everyone. Before you buy a plant, you need to know if it likes full sun, which is lots of direct sunlight, or shade, where it's more protected.
For sure. Okay, so once you've picked your plants, you have to actually plant them. For me, in my pots, the first step is making sure the pot has drainage. That means little holes in the bottom.
Why is that important?
Well, if there are no holes, the water just sits at the bottom, and that can cause the roots of the plant to rot. And, well, that's the end of your plant. So, drainage is key. Then I add some good quality potting soil.
The process is similar for me, but bigger. I have to prepare the whole flower bed. First, I have to pull out all the weeds. Weeds are, the unwanted plants that try to take over.
Ah, yes, the battle against the weeds. I don't miss that.
It's endless. Then I use a shovel or a small rake to loosen up the soil. I often mix in some compost, which is like extra food for the soil, to make it really healthy for the new plants. Then I dig a hole, gently place the plant inside, and cover it back up with soil.
And after planting, what's the most important next step?
Water. You have to give your new plants a good drink of water right away. It helps them settle into their new home.
Let's talk about watering. I feel like this is where people get nervous. How do you know when to water your plants?
That's a good point. I think the biggest mistake people make is overwatering. Overwatering can be just as bad as underwatering.
I agree. For my pots, I use a simple trick. I just stick my finger about an inch into the soil. If the soil feels dry, it's time to water. If it feels damp or wet, I wait another day or two.
That's the exact same method I use for my garden beds. It's the best way to know for sure. Also, it's usually better to water the plants in the morning. That way, the leaves have time to dry during the day, which helps prevent diseases.
Good tip. And when you want to water the soil, not the leaves. Give the ground a good long soak. It's better to water deeply once every few days than to sprinkle a little water every day.
Okay, so we've chosen the plants, planted them, and we're watering them correctly. Now we get to the best part, watching them grow and bloom. That's such a great point about deep watering. It really encourages the roots to grow strong. You know, this makes me think about something we haven't mentioned yet. Tools. I imagine my garden toolkit is a bit bigger than yours.
This is the payoff. I mean, it's the whole reason we do it, right? I love going out onto my balcony in the morning with my coffee and just seeing all the color. It's like my own little oasis in the middle of the city.
I feel the same way. There's nothing like walking through the yard and seeing a flower that has just opened. It feels like, I don't know, a little miracle. And the smells. Fresh flowers in the garden smell so incredible.
So true. It's so peaceful. It really reduces stress. It's a way to connect with nature, even if it's just in a few pots on a balcony.
Do you ever cut your flowers and bring them inside?
Sometimes, if I have a lot of blooms, it's a nice way to bring the beauty indoors. But most of the time, I like to just leave them on the plant and enjoy them outside. What about you?
I love making little bouquets for the kitchen table, especially from my rose bushes. It just feels so special to have flowers in your house that you grew yourself.
I bet. I think the main message is just don't be afraid to try it. You don't need a huge yard. You can start with one pot, one plant, and just see how it goes.
I couldn't agree more. It's a learning process. Some plants will do great and some won't, and that's okay. Every gardener, even the experts, has plants that die. It's all part of it.
Totally. Just have fun with it. Well, Sarah, this has been a really fun conversation. I feel inspired to go buy a new plant for my balcony now.
Me too. It's been great talking about our gardens. I hope we've inspired some of our listeners to give it a try too.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Learn English the Easy Way. We hope you enjoyed our chat about gardening.
Join us next time for more easy conversation to help you in your English learning journey. Until then, goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Happy gardening.